Alright, so what we have at the moment, we have only one user. This user is called root, and the password is the word password. It's not 100% safe. I don't recommend anyone else using it. This is a test server, so I don't really mind. I don't have any data to hide on it or whatever. But obviously, it's necessary for us to not use it in such a production ready place. Like if we're gonna host a server over here, we don't want it to be like an extremely vulnerable server. So we might want to choose like a different password, and maybe even not put forward the protocol for MySQL, which in our case it's 3307, not 06, which is the default. So what we're going to do now is we're going to connect to the database, and we're going to make sure that this one works just fine with port 3307. Or in your case, it will be 0006, but we can also do 3307. Let's just do them both, and gonna do MySQL, gonna do finish, gonna close it, and now we can go over here and we can check if this is actually open. So let's go ahead and do check. We see that it is open. Now, how do we give someone the credentials to log into our server, into the database of the server? So first of all, we have this button here, manage users. Gonna click on it, and we're gonna add a new user. Now this new user will be it will be Serverland's local usage account, for example. So we're gonna say Serverland will be your name. Now, where is Serverland's about to connect? We wanted to give him access from everywhere, because I don't know if he's traveling, maybe he's not. I don't know where he's from. I don't really mind where he's from. It doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna give him access from everywhere. However, if I want to give him access from a specific IP, I can just type here the IP 45.54.54.123, and this will be locked to this particular IP at all times. It will never be accessible for anything else which is not this IP. So in my case, I want to give him access from everywhere, and my password, I can do whatever password I want here. For now, I'm gonna do 123, and obviously use something more secure than this. And now, how can we select which database, which tables, what privilege will he have for every single thing? That is with add object. When we press here, we can see that we have multiple options. So I want to give him access to world, only world, because he doesn't need authentication, he doesn't need characters. I mean, there is nothing to be done with these two. So I'm going to give him world. Now I want to give him item template, because this is how we add items. And I want to give him quest template. So let's find item template. There we go. And I want to give him a quest template. So I'm going to go all the way down, quest template like this. I press Control to select multiple values. If you don't, it will just replace, and you will have to do it manually for every single individual item. So we have two tables here. If I press on this button, I will give him privilege to do everything. What does everything mean? It means he will be able to, wait, let me expand it a little bit. He will be able to select, show view, alter, create, all that stuff. We don't want him to have grant. We don't want him to have reference. We don't want him to have index. We don't want him to have drop. Drop means delete the entire table. We don't want it to have create view. We don't want to create. We don't want alter. Yeah, we might want alter. No, actually we don't. Don't want show view. We want only the most basic functions. We want him to be able to select, which is to view whatever he wants, to be able to delete things he created. Maybe he doesn't want to keep them anymore, or maybe if it's useless or whatever. Want to insert new data, and we want to update existing data. For example, instead of ID 123, it will be ID 124. All right, so this is what we want to give him with this particular quest template thing. And within item template, I think we're going to do exactly the same. Select, delete, insert, and update. So additional thing we have here, you can see that if we press here, it will give them everything. But if we don't, if we remove one of them, it goes back into this symbol, into this square symbol. That means he has something within the list, because we don't see everything expanded by default. It has something in the list, but it doesn't have everything. So you're going to need to click on this button here and see what he has. So I'm going to do it again, select, delete, insert, and update. All right, so I'm gonna hit save now, and we can try to connect with this user. So let's go ahead and do it. Obviously, this is my local database for now. I can connect from my my own computer, but I'm gonna do it later. For now, I just want to show you how it works. Like, what can you see in terms of like the menu? So let's go ahead and add a new account, and let's call it tester. So the tester uses the same one, and this one is serverlands. It's case sensitive, and the password was 123. So I'm gonna do save, and I'm gonna do open. Now you can see I can see information schema, and I can see performance schema. These two we can ignore. These are fine. These are just the default tables that we get when we make a new user, and you can see that we have here everything that we set up. We have item template, we have quest template, only these two. Now, if I want to delete this table, I'm going to do drop. It won't let me. Command is denied because the user does not have within item template. He doesn't have drop. He does not. All right. So it's important. Oh, wait. It's important to remember this and not to mess with this. Global privileges gives the user the ability to have all these super admin functionality that we have here as this user, which is called root. So don't mess with this. Just create dedicated tables, give specific table access. No need to adjust anything. If you ever want to do, instead of serverlands here, we can add for like an account for Josh or John, or I don't know, whatever you want. So we can clone, and it will give them the exact same privileges that this user have, but we can adjust here the username. So let's do Josh, for example, and the password will be, instead of 123, it will be 321, and 321 again, and it's exactly the same. So if I press save, we have serverlands, and then we have Josh. So yeah, this is how it works. This is a very powerful system. Obviously, going to need to be safe with it. You can add many things over here. What you usually should send out to the user is, let's do this real quick. You should give them the IP, which is in our case 65.21.98.148. The username, which in our case is serverlands. The password, which in our case is 123. And the port 3307 in our case, but default is 3308.06. We can also give him the database that he has access to, which in our case is serverlands world, and we can also do the tables that he has access to. So let's do item template and quest template, and we can also tell him what he has access to. Select, update, insert, delete, which is exactly the same for this one. Exactly the same. So we will be able to copy this, send it to our friend Josh. Obviously gonna need to, or John, or I don't remember what name was it. But yeah, we can basically do all of this. Let's do Josh here. I think that was the name. Hope I'm not wrong. Yeah, it was Josh. All right. So gonna do Josh. Instead of this, we're gonna do 321. Gonna copy it and set it over to his Discord, and he can use it. And if we're gonna use it as, for example, as serverlands alternative account, we can adjust the name here to be recruits shirt that glows, for example, and it will let it update just fine. We see that one change has been committed over here, and this is the command that has been executed. So update the database name, the table name, set name, which is what we just updated, equals to recruit, where entry, which is the main index here, equals 38, which is basically what we just did. So I'm gonna delete this, bring it back, and it works again just fine. One change, one row has been affected, and it glows in green. So this is how we do it. If you need anything, obviously let me know. I will make a more in-depth tutorial, even though you don't really need more than that at the moment. It's very simple, easy to use. This is only if you wanna do stuff with other people. If you want to work around the database yourself and get more familiar with it, we're going to do a lot of things. We're going to create multiple items. We're going to do a lot of things ourselves. We're going to create multiple mazes and objects in game for custom uses. Yeah, we have a lot to do. We have a lot to do. Don't worry about it. It might take a while to really understand it and get through with it, and that's fine. If you don't understand, we're gonna work on DBC files as well to make item template more, to make it like a viable, accessible item in game. It's gonna take a little bit of time to get used to it, but once you do, it will be easy, super easy. It's gonna be very simple. So best of luck. Again, if you need anything, let me know.